Ciao football lovers of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel, I hope you're all doing well. Two things are back. The first one, international break, and if you don't really know me, and if you want to know how I feel about it, well, this meme is absolutely representing my state of mind, how I feel about international break. If you agree with me, or if you have a total different opinion, let me know in the comment section. Of course, I'm asking you kindly to continue to subscribe to the channel, to continue to support the channel with a maximum of like. We are that close to reaching 1,900 subs, and then the next step, of course, a beautiful one, 2,000 subscribers here on the channel. Thank you for all your support. We continue with the second thing that is back, Luis Enrique. Luis Enrique, no, not at the head of a national team, but Luis Enrique back on Twitch. And it made me smile this morning. Twitch 2.0, how he called it. He's trying it again. He already did it during the World Cup with Qatar when he was at the head of Spain. And he decided that it was a fantastic, beautiful idea to interact with the Spanish fans before the games, after the games. Quite funny, quite nice, beautiful idea, beautiful initiative. Unfortunately for him, unfortunately for Spain, things didn't go that well. Because you know it, if a coach is there in front of the cameras and things are not going that well with Spain, not a good decision. Hopefully for him and Paris Saint-Germain, that are still competing in Champions League and they are still having a lot of chances to maybe win it for the first time, it will get better for him. Hoping for him. Anyway, there are some players that will not be there during the international breaks. Griezmann, why do I start with him? Because he's not there, suffering a slightly injury back in Madrid. Well, he's stopping a fantastic record of 84 games in a row where he was playing at least 1 minute with l'équipe de France. He will not be there. Arsenal defender Gabriel will also not be there. Gleison Bremer, defender of Juventus, has been called up for him. And then other players like Dusan Vlahovic, Serbian striker, said no. The coach said, I prefer that they have these little problems now than during Euro 2024. I believe that club supporters will absolutely not agree with the coach. Anyway, it is what it is. Nunes Darwin will also not represent his country, Uruguay. He will stay in Liverpool, hoping that he will be back immediately because they have a few tournaments to win. Not the cup that they just lost, but they still have Europa League. They also have the title, the last one, of Jurgen Klopp with Liverpool. Messi, after a slightly injury against Nashville, will not be there. We will not be able to see the captain of the World Cup winners against El Salvador and Costa Rica. On the other side, Wijnaldum received another chance. Needs to be tested to understand if yes or no during the summer he could be there, having a spot in the 23, 24, 25 players list. I'm not sure how many players will be called up for the national teams. Wijnaldum's another chance for the 33 years old player. And then of course we're all asking ourselves, what about Harry Kane? We all saw him hitting that post. Will he be able to answer positively to the call up? Because he was called up and he said, yes, I will be there. I want to be there. Not sure if he will play one or both games, but he will be there. He said, yes, I want to really represent my country, Germany, to continue a fantastic season. Of course, Bayern Munich is fearing. They don't want to risk anything, but he said yes, and he has the right to decide if yes or no he answered positively. And then, of course, when we are speaking about international break, when we are speaking about an upcoming big tournament like Euro 2024, we have to speak about who at the moment on paper are the favorites. Well, in Portugal, we are speaking about the fact that they believe in it. They consider themselves the favorites or one of the favorites. There was an interview from Bruno Fernandes, Manchester United player, on Abola that said, me playing together with Bernardo Silva is absolutely fine. We get super well together. We understand each other and we have absolutely no problem. And then Danilo, Portuguese player, said, look, we are still hungry, like we were in 2016. We believe that we can win it again. What are the 5 games that you can't miss in the next following days? 2 games will be played on the 23rd of March. 3 games will be played on the 26th of March of these 5 top games. Spain against Brazil on the 26th. Germany against the Netherlands also on the 26th. You will have to choose. England, Belgium, what a game. England against Brazil, and then France, Germany. Games that will be totally crazy. Anyway, in Spain they are speaking about league, they are speaking about individuals. We know it, they don't speak that much about teams, about football on the field, because at the moment there is no football on the field, so they need to fill the papers. And Sport is going with an interview to Fermín López, the one that scored against Atletico Madrid a few days ago. Echaremos de menos a Xavi. We will miss Xavi, the actual coach of Barcelona, because we know it. He already publicly decided that he will leave at the end of the season. But Barça Center is reporting also the words of Sport, the article of Sport, where they still believe that he can even continue next season. But he needs to fulfill a few conditions. What are the conditions for him to continue also next season with Barcelona? The first one is to finish the season well. One. Second one, to play good football. I have absolutely no idea what it means, playing good football. Anyway. And then, no doubts, pushing Real Madrid in La Liga, but also in the Clásico, as if the future of Xavi depends on one game in the Clásico. And then the fifth condition is maybe, perhaps, winning the Champions League, which will be extremely tough, especially when we know the odds, the percentages of chances of the team to win. Well, Manchester City is the first one with nearly 30% chances to win it, followed by Paris Saint-Germain, followed by Real Madrid, Arsenal, 14 in order of preferences, on order of the most chances to win it. Barcelona is 7th, right above Atletico Madrid. It will be extremely tough. I believe that he will say no. I believe it's also coming from Barcelona side, because we know it. It's not that they have that much money to also replace him. They are still building the Camp Nou. That is absolutely not ready, so they need to invest money. They are losing a lot of money because the stadiums that they are now in, well, the stadium is never full, and they are losing a lot of money. Every single game they lose money, they lose money, they lose money. Going for a new coach with a new contract will be tough, and that's why in a way they hope that Xavi is doing well so that they can even continue with him. I believe it will be over. I'm not sure that he will come back on his decision. Well, Marca, like Sport, is also going with exclusive interviews, and this time they interviewed Lamine Yamal, and he said, I continue to play in the street with my friends. Beautiful for a 16 years old, which Barcelona, they have absolutely no problem with. On the other side, they have problems if he would be called up for the Olympic Games. He's 16, he could be there, but it's true that the clubs are a bit fearing. You remember that Pedri case? Do you remember when he was injured with the Olympics? This is something that in Spain they really want to avoid, and they would prefer if he would not be called up. On the other side, in Spain, they can't refuse. If he will be called up, he will need to go there. Mundo Deportivo is speaking about Lewandowski that will represent Poland with the international teams. Well, they are saying after a moment where he totally disappeared, he is back. What a leader. He is doing fantastically well in 2024. In the other pages, in France, in Italy, they are not speaking that much about national team. They are not speaking that much about La Liga or the leagues that they are competing in. They are speaking about other topics, about off-the-field topics, like L'Equipe. They say referees. It is a total disaster. Everything needs to be watched again. The rules, the way of doing it, because VAR has been a total disaster this season. And I believe that I can speak about the same for all the other leagues. Disaster in Spain, disaster in Italy, disaster in England, disaster in France as well. Total disaster. They need to get back to objective refereeing, because today we have too much interpretations, which is actually making people extremely furious. This is not the correct decision. This has to be better. Whistle. This one is not okay. This one is not okay. This one is offside. This one is not offside. This one is a foul. This is a handball. All this kind of discussion needs to stop, especially with all the tools that they have at disposal today. So I totally agree with L'Equipe, but I will extend it more than only Ligue 1, but also in the other leagues. And then we go towards Premier League, where yesterday, bad news. Even if they didn't play, well, there is a team that moved that ranking, and not on the top, but towards the bottom is Forest. -4 points yesterday, which actually bring them in the relegation zone under Luton. Forest Feld is the first title on Mirror Sport, and then Star Sport with Forest Grump. Total disaster for Forest. It's a pity to see these moving rankings, not because of the performances on the field, but off the field, especially with the coach Nuno that is coming, trying to help the team. They are actually doing okay-ish, and then you see that your team is taking back 4 points. You go in relegation zone. It's tough. It's extremely tough. It is what it is. In Italy, they are speaking also about off the field. Juve spied with some controversial topic, conspiracy topic. Then they speak about transfer market for the winter. Inter is thinking about Raspadori. Zirkzee, a lot of teams want to go for him. Inter, Milan, Juventus. So everything except of on the field topics. Same for Gazzetta dello Sport. Dribbling Inter, Gudmundsson, a target of Juventus, is now also a target of Inter, because he's a guy that has the most dribbles, successful dribbles in Serie A, a guy that is doing extremely well with Genoa, a team that Juventus faced this weekend. Well, Inter is on him. And then the last one, Tutto Sport, that is speaking about the future of Max Allegri on the bench of Juventus. First qualify to Champions League, and then we will discuss, and then we will decide if yes or no we continue with the coach from Livorno. That was it for me. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm curious to read your feeling about that international break. Who are your favorite one at the moment on paper, without going too much in detail? France, twice World Cup finalist. France. Second, I'm not in order, I'm giving you 4 countries. Germany, and if you are asking where that shirt is coming from, look into the description. 90 vintage football shirt store, fantastic. You can find the link into the description. Germany, they are playing at home, so it makes totally sense. Well, Portugal, they believe in it. They have a quite good team. Again, a beautiful generation. And then the fourth one is England. England with also them a beautiful generation, of course. England is always in the favorite. Unfortunately for them, they never do it. They can't do it. There's always something that is missing. Sometimes it's a bit of players, sometimes it's a bit of luck, sometimes it's this. Let's see if England can go all in at the end of the tournament Euro 2024. Maximum Flight, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for following the channel.